All right, so June's going to be some big channel updates and a pretty light TBR, so let's get into it.
Thank you to my patrons for supporting the channel and making it the best it can be.
Hey fantasy fans, welcome back. It's Dan here with TreeBeard Book Reviews, and I'm going to be talking about my June TBR. So June is actually going to be a planned light month, and I'm going to discuss that in this video. So first of all, there's going to be some cool things kind of going on this month. I'm going to be announcing a buddy read on the channel, and I'll put a link down below where you can get that book. So first thing I want to say, thank you guys for everyone being subscribed and being a part of the channel. I'm going to be coming up with my my booktube anniversary, not this month, but it'll be in August 28th. So I'm looking forward to getting there. At this point, I can't believe the channel's already at where it's at. I think we're at like 1,425 subscribers. It's pretty crazy. So just thank you guys so much there. So yeah, I'm just going to be giving an update of like what's going on in my life, and then also with the my June TBR. So if you guys are part of my Discord, I would recommend you join the Discord if you want to be part of the community I'm building. Just because there is going to be a buddy read, and so to be a part of the buddy read, you need to be a part of the Discord. But I'm also giving kind of more general updates of what's going on in my life right now. So big thing is I'm going to be moving. I'm looking to sell my current house and move to a new place. So I've boxed up pretty much all my books except for these 9 shelves behind me. This is probably going to be the last video I've filmed with this backdrop of my bookshelves until I'm in my new place. So it's going to look a little sparse, a little spare for a few weeks, but that's okay. That's part of moving, right? It sucks to move. I'm at that stage in my life where I am so sick of moving. I was sitting down with my wife, and I think in the last 7 years, I think we've moved 7 times. Not moved every year. Like this, we've been in this place for a couple of years now. But when we moved to England, we moved once when we were in England, moved back from England to Canada, and then we moved a few times until we finally settled here for a couple of years. So it's been a crazy few years. So this house that we moved to next is hopefully our forever house, and I don't have to move again because I'm getting too old for that crap, man. Like nobody, and I can't ask my friends. Like I'm just gonna hire a moving company. I can't ask my friends. It's not worth like. Especially when you're in your 30s, like I can't ask my friends to slip a disc or like break their back for like shitty beer and pizza, right? So that's just not cool. I'm just gonna hire someone to do it. So anyways, that's more just the channel update that I'm gonna be moving. So there's gonna be a bit of a change over the next couple weeks. Hopefully it's not too long because I want to be in my house. So let's start talking about June TBR and what I'm going to be reading. All right, so another update too for June, which I forgot to mention, is I'm going to be defending my masters in June. So yeah, June's a busy month. Moving, defending my masters. So I'm giving myself a light reading month just to be safe. And I don't want to be like disappoint myself, and I don't want to not disappoint you guys, but like I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, and that's like one of those things I've always been big on is try not to overpromise, don't underdeliver, because you just end up disappointing other people and yourself. So there's no point in setting unrealistic expectations. So I've got like 4 physical reads planned and 2 audio. Audio I usually have never had an issue getting through. May was a bit of a hard month, and just in terms of like, I just didn't have time to read. Like I've been writing my rough draft of my thesis. I've been editing that, and then also packing and moving. So like my house and my life has been chaos in all of May. So I didn't read as many books as I would have liked, but I read some, so I was happy with that. So let's start with the audiobook listens. So I'm going to be continuing with my Lord of the Rings reread, and I'm going to be listening to The Two Towers, narrated by Andy Serkis. As you guys know, I think I've told it several times on the channel, I read The Lord of the Rings every year, so this is just another way for me to reread it. And, doing it with a new audiobook experience with Andy Serkis, it's been absolutely fantastic. Like, I'll be doing a full review of the whole series, like once I'm done listening to it. And I've got them all back to back. Like I listened to Fellowship in May, Two Towers is gonna be this month in June, and then July we'll be rounding out the full Lord of the Rings. I guess it's not really, they call it a trilogy, but it's really just, it's one big book. So yeah, so Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, which is probably the best one, is going to be my first audiobook read. So my second one is In the Shadow of Lightning by Brian McClellan. I actually got the ARC from NetGalley. I got the audiobook ARC, so I'm really looking forward to listening to that. I haven't tried the NetGalley like audiobook Audible or audiobook listening app. I heard it's not great. Actually, one of my friends, Bryce, over at Shelf Centered. If you aren't subscribed to his channel, go subscribe to his channel. Like, he's great. He talked about all the the audiobook listening services out there, and he mentioned that one's not great. So I'm kind of not looking forward to listening to it on there, but I'm looking forward to listening to the book. So yeah, the In the Shadow of Lightning. I do have a third tentative audiobook. Depends how well I do. That is going to be Small Gods. It's going to be narrated by Andy Serkis. So a lot of Andy Serkis narration this month, if I get to it. Just because I think I mentioned it in my second Discworld news, where I just wanted to listen to it. I gave Indira Varma a chance. I just want to see what Andy Serkis does with Small Gods. I read Small Gods last year, and I haven't had a chance to review it. So I think this will just be a good way for me to, refresh the book and give a review. So let's get into the physical reads, and that's where the buddy read's going to start. Now let's get to the physical read. So the first one, I'm going to be listing these in chronological order, like what I'm going to read them in. And so the first one is a buddy read I'm starting on the channel, and this one was picked by a patron. So I do have a Patreon. I do have some tiers on there, like there's Enting, Ent, and Old Man Willow. And so the Old Man Willows, the Old Man Willow tier of my my patrons, you get assigned a month, or you can pick a month that's free, and you pick that month, you decide what book I read. And this book sounds really cool, so I've decided to make it a buddy read. So it is Mechanical Failure by, what is it, Joe Zaja, or Zaja? I'm probably butchering that, but anyway, so Mechanical Failure is the buddy read for the month of June. A few of my patrons and also a few people in the Discord have already ordered it. They have lots of copies of this on Book Outlet, so if you want to get in the buddy read, order it on Book Outlet. It's super cheap. I'll put a link down below to it. Mine came within like 2-3 days. I'm actually really looking forward to starting. It seems like a small, simple book, but yeah, it's I think Powell, who's the patron, he said it's kind of like a comedic, sci-fi, not like Discworld-ish, like in terms of the comedy, but like where, like you see the tag here, it says like, please restart your warship. It just sounds like, a comedic, like sci-fi romp that is going to be like very centered, like character-centered, I think. So I'm looking forward to reading it. I'm going to be creating a channel on the Discord for the buddy read, so join the Discord and we can talk about it. The next book I'm going to be getting into is The Bladed Faith by David Dalglish. So I got this as an ARC on NetGalley. I know the book's already out. I want to give it a read. I don't think the cover's super great. I really don't like the cover, and I don't really think it tells us much about the book, because I've watched a few spoiler-free reviews on this now, and I'm like, this sucks. Like, this cover sucks compared to what this book is actually about, because this book's, when you hear the reviews, sounds amazing. So the next one is The Bladed Faith by David Dalglish. So I'm going to then be reading a book. So as you guys know, my wife and I do a monthly, or I think it's quarterly, book swap. So she's given me her book it's the month of June. So she's given me her June book. It's called 3 Simple Rules. I'll put a cover up here. Don't know anything about it. She picked it for me. It's a romance. I know it's a romance. So I'm going to be reading that. It should be fairly short, quick read. I won't be doing a review of it, but I guess the thing is I get to pick her a book. And the book I picked for her is Leviathan Wakes. I want her to read it, so mainly so I can start the show. She said, we're not watching it until we've started until she's like, I'm not watching the show until we've started reading the books. I'm like, okay, cool. So you're reading this so I can start the show. So it's a bit self-serving, but yeah. So she's gonna be starting The Expanse. I'm gonna be starting. I'm on the 4th book. I'm gonna be starting the 4th book soon, hopefully. I'll have that up in like an update in a later TBR. So the last physical read that I have planned for June is The Color of Magic by Terry Pratchett. You know there had to be a Discworld book. There's always a Discworld book on my TBR. This one, we're starting right at the beginning. And the reason I've swapped back to now the beginning of the books is because A, I want to get into the Wizards. I haven't read any of the Wizards books yet. Start working my way through the Discworld, because once I finish the series, I'm going to take a break from it, read some of Terry's other works, you know, so like Nation, Dodger, like the Long Earth series, some of his other, like, you know, maybe Strata or like the Dromiad, and then eventually come back and do a full reread of the Discworld in chronological order. So, you know, I've read enough of the Discworld. I think I've read like 22 books now, and I think it's time for me to start at the beginning. So, yeah, so that's it. So, anyways, guys, you know, thank you for sticking through this video. I know it's a bit of a longer TBR, but I just wanted to, you know, give you some updates on like what's going on in my life, like with the move, with my defending of my master's. So there's a lot of life things happening right now. I guess I forgot to mention too that I'm going to be just transitioning back down to 2 videos a week, so Tuesdays and Saturdays. I've been trying to maintain the 3 videos, and I felt like it's been working, but I don't think that Thursday video is always like done well, or it's not like, you know, sometimes less is more. I'm gonna try transitioning back to 2 videos for just a couple months, just to see how that works, because somebody just gets sick of people, right? You get sick of my face, you see my face like 3 times a week, you're like, okay, it's enough. It's enough. We've had enough. So, anyways, guys, so that's the update. So if you want to have more regular updates and more, you know, conversations with me, join the Discord, and chat with me. I'd love to chat with you guys. So anyways, that's it. I won't belabor it any longer, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.